Bobcats. I am Nicholas Wimbish.
And I'm Sophia Ricketts. Coming up on GC360, Georgia College students react to new laws across the country that affect transgender rights.
And students march through town to protest sexual assault.
Plus, are GC students living in a bubble? We'll tell you what the people of Milledgeville think of you. All this and more coming up on GC360.
This is GC360 News, where news comes full circle. Our top story this week. There's a new law in Georgia that bans gender-affirming health care for minors. Georgia is just the latest among several states to pass such a law. So, what do GC students think about this bill? Here's our reporter, Michael Tomasi.
Georgia lawmakers have passed a bill last month that will directly affect youth access to transgender care. Senate Bill 140 will prohibit hospitals and licensed healthcare providers from administering treatment for gender dysphoria to minors. These include gender-affirming surgery and hormone therapy. Doctors who don't comply will be at risk of losing their license and face criminal or civil liabilities. Senator Cardin Summers sponsored the bill, claiming that it will prevent people under 18 from making permanent changes to their bodies that they may regret. Supporters consider the bill to protect minors by making them wait until maturity before deciding on transitioning. Critics argue that the bill will worsen public perception of transgender people and lead to more self-harm in transgender youths. Furthermore, they claim that the number of minors who regret their transition is minimal.
I can't speak for it. I can only speak for myself, and I've never been in that thought process, but I can assume that it would help people if they got started on those kinds of hormones earlier for them to become the people who they feel they are. And if people get stopped from that, I feel like maybe some of them wouldn't really see the future they want, and that could cause some mental health issues, to be honest.
There's people who are underage or minors who don't know really what they are or what they want. But at the same time, there is a lot of people who really know exactly what they want. So
I think you should probably wait until you're 18 to have surgery that can't be reversed, but also hormones, that can be something that can be reversed, and it can be kind of traumatizing for someone who feels like they have gender dysphoria to go through puberty and be in the wrong body for that long. So it's complex, I guess.
I think maybe a better education, sexual education for the people, maybe it's a better option instead of having a law to forbid someone to do something they want to do.
The bill passed Georgia's Senate by a vote of 31 to 21 and was signed into law on March 24th. It will go into effect on July 1st this year. I'm Michael Tomasi reporting for GC360.
Michael, thanks for that report. Now to students' action against sexual assault. It's called Take Back the Night. That's when students march their way through town to protest sexual violence against women. And our executive producer, Emily Smith, was there.
The Women's Centre recently hosted its annual Take Back the Night march and rally. The march happens in April to support Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Students and faculty alike marched from the A&S Fountain to downtown and then finally to the old courthouse, where a keynote speaker shared her experience and gave advice to survivors of sexual assault.
Whatever path you choose is the right path for you. But reach out to somebody. Talk to someone. Find your voice. Don't let shame hide your voice. Because the shame and the embarrassment belongs with the person that committed the crime.
The team that organized Take Back the Night included students, two of them being Anna Lippy and Kendra Kay.
Hey, I'm Kendra. I'm a grad assistant with the Women's Center and LGBTQ programs, and I was on the team to plan Take Back the Night.
Yes, my name is Anna Lippy, and I've helped plan this for the last few years, so I came back my last year to help put the pieces together, and it's always really rewarding and encouraging to put this event on. It is one of the more involved events to plan with the Women's Center. We've got to talk to public safety, get the route organized, we've got to advertise, we've got to get speakers set up, but at the end of the event, I always feel so motivated and refreshed to keep doing it and to keep reaching out and making a change.
This demonstration of taking back the night is important to the student body here at Georgia College.
And as for why we do it at Georgia College and on our campus, one instance of sexual assault is too much. So we want to make sure that people are aware and we uplift and emphasize the voices of survivors and victims, and we make sure that we try our best to stop interpersonal power-based violence.
Yep.
The event let people come up and share their experiences with sexual assault. It gave students a chance to be heard and seen in a safe environment. The rally also took a moment of silence for all those who have experienced sexual assault. There are resources available for survivors. Those resources are counseling services, Title IX coordinator, public safety, the Women's Center, and LGBTQ+ services, and more. From GC360, I'm Emily Smith.
As Emily noted in her report, Take Back the Night is organized by the Women's Center. Melissa Guerrier is a coordinator at the center, and she's here to tell us more about this annual event. Melissa, welcome to GC360.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So how long has Georgia College participated in Take Back the Night?
Yeah, so Georgia College has had Take Back the Night on our campus since around 2006. So doing some quick math, we're almost at, 17, 18 years? So that's really exciting. But yeah.
So how is this night impacting the fight against sexual assault at Georgia College?
Yeah, so one of the most important things I think around sexual assault is just raising awareness, right? And letting folks know that it is something that is in our community. I think a lot of times folks think this isn't something that we really have to worry about here. And so this is really meant to be an event that is to support, first and foremost, survivors of sexual assault and allow them a space to, share their stories and be in community and just really feel that support and love from everybody else. And so that's the main goal, but definitely also that raising awareness aspect.
Awesome. So what advice do you have for individuals who want to get more involved in advocating for survivors of sexual assault?
Yeah, so I think that's a great thing to strive for. I would suggest that folks get educated on the best ways to respond. First and foremost, believing that individual if they, disclose to you that they have been assaulted, knowing what the resources are in our community, both on campus and off campus. So, our Title IX office with Ms. Shanoya Cordu, but also the Bright House, right, which is our sexual assault center in town. So just kind of being aware of those. And then we always welcome folks to get involved with Project Brave on campus, which is an initiative that is run out of the Women's Center. Brave stands for Bobcats Rising Against Violence Everywhere. And so we really try to take a community approach to talking about issues like sexual assault, dating, domestic violence, stalking, etc. So we always welcome folks to get involved with that too.
Yeah. So how do you plan to maintain momentum and continue the fight against sexual assault after Take Back the Night?
Yeah, so luckily, like I said, Project Brave is a great initiative and a way that we can do that. We always get in front of our first year students every orientation and every weekend of welcome, and we have trainings and such and other events throughout the year to highlight, ways that we can prevent all sorts of violence on our campus. And I would also say, we have a great student organization called Braveheart. They meet every other week. They're the student arm of Project Brave, and so they're a great way to get involved too and help continue this effort.
So how can students best utilize the resources that we have on campus and that are provided by the Women's Center during their time in college?
Yeah, so the Women's Center, obviously we do focus on this issue, but we focus on a lot of other things too, right? That all the different types of things that impact women and folks of all genders. So we always welcome folks to come by our space, which is on the second floor of Blackbridge Hall, the space that we affectionately call the Hub. You can come to our programs, events that we have going on throughout the year. Keep up with us on social media, on GC Connect, all of those kinds of places. But we always welcome folks to kind of just stop by our space as well if they're looking for a place to hang out, want somebody to talk to, anything like that. So, yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much for being on our show today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Switching gears now, if you are a Hope Scholarship, there's good news for you from this just ended session of the Georgia General Assembly. GC360's Sophia Ricketts reports.
Back in January, Kemp proposed a budget that would grant Hope Scholars 100% tuition coverage. Hope used to cover 100% of school fees, but Governor Nathan Deal slashed the budget in 2011 due to the Great Recession. Over the years, Hope has steadily increased, with students getting 90% of their tuition paid for this past school year. Last month, the House and Senate passed a state budget. Now, 100% tuition coverage is just a signature away, and students are excited to have more financial help to pay for school.
It can only help, honestly. I know a lot of students have the budget when they don't have Zell or they don't have enough scholarships and have to sometimes rely on like loans. So having that extra 15-20% paid for would honestly help.
Nearly 3,000 GCSU students are eligible for the Hope Scholarship, but the increase will help thousands of students across the university system of Georgia. As Hope continues to make college more affordable, students are able to think about their long-term financial goals.
My sister goes to a school where there's no Hope and it is so expensive, and I go here and it's way more inexpensive, so that will just make my life more easier. And if I want to go to grad school, I will have more money. Like, me and my family will have more money for me because I plan on going to grad school. So
It'll be my last year, and I'll be trying to wrap up the rest of my degree, so not having to put as much out of pocket by having that small amount covered that I wasn't already covered will help me feel a bit more peace of mind.
Governor Kemp is expected to sign off on the budget any day now, making students hopeful about their financial and academic futures. For GC360, I'm Sophia Ricketts. Up next on GC360, how are students dealing with their stress and what resources are available to them?
And an assistant professor at Georgia College launches a new novel. We'll tell you all about it after the break.
That's my favorite news anchor. Ugh, what do you want? Like 10 seconds. Can you just read this announcement for me? Okay, 10 seconds. Okay.
This semester, GC360 is introducing a new show, Cat Talk. We will showcase a new guest each month and deep dive into some topical issues of concern to you. You may also see some of our guests play some silly games while they're here with us. You won't want to miss this. From GC360, this is Isabella Vanderlende. So join me each month for Cat Talk right here on GC360.
Hi, my name is Susie Parker. I'm a student docent over here at Andalusia Farms. Andalusia served as the home of the famed American author Flannery O'Connor from 1951 until 1964 of her passing at 39 years old. It was here that Flannery famously wrote and had all 32 of her short stories published. After her passing in 1964, though, the property was eventually entrusted with Georgia College and State University. It is now our proudest achievement to say that we are the nation's newest National Historic Landmark. And on top of that, on March 25th of 2023, we intend to open up our interpretive center and then ultimately return the entirety of the home back to how the O'Connors had it when they were here. There's a ton of stuff that college students can come and enjoy, especially as a Georgia College student. Not only are tours free, but the entirety of the property is free to roam. This is including the front porch, in which we actually leave unlocked for people to come up, have a seat in the rocking chairs, and maybe do like a study session. But even more so than that, we have a nature trail down by the pond, which is about 2 miles long. It is very, very beautiful. And we also have Astor and Mrs. Shortley, our peacock and peahen, who are pretty fun to visit as well. Another really fun thing that a lot of people like to come to Andalusia for is for photography, not only of, photography of the forestry and things like that, but we've had several weddings out here that have had their photos done. But on top of that, this is a wonderful and beautiful place for Georgia College seniors to come and have some of their portraits done. And it's very fitting that it's here on site with Georgia College.
Welcome back. This is GC360, where news comes full circle. The website visitmilledgeville.com describes Milledgeville as a charming college town with a hip college vibe. Yet Georgia College is just one of many attractions Milledgeville is proud of. But the big question, just how integrated are GC students in on this small town southern life? Here's GC360's Jalen Brooks.
GC prides itself on its rich history, beautiful campus, and brilliant architecture. However, Milledgeville as a whole isn't as fortunate, with much of the city living below the poverty line.
You'll generally notice it no matter where you're in Milledgeville. Like, as you move away from the main campus, it'll become more and more kind of uncanny. As of less of Milledgeville, more of just kind of like a shanty town, kind of just like a more rundown, less cared for area where you might feel unsafe.
The university can sometimes act as a bubble that insulates its population from the rest of the town. GC students tend to come from more affluent areas, which can widen the gap between them and everyone else even further. Despite this, the perspective of most Milledgeville residents towards students and GC is positive.
I have noticed that when we do have issues late night, like you can speak with college students easier than you can locals. You know, when I tell them to calm down, they listen. And I do appreciate that. And then you get different perspectives from the college kids, though, because they're new and fresh to the world and they're from all over. And so I have really good conversations. And I love all the college kids that work for me. That's why I hire mostly college kids.
Many campus employees who deal with a variety of students on a daily basis feel that they've only benefited from the experience.
It has broadened my horizons to the utmost. It really has. As far as learning to cope with different and how to deal with different students and kids. I have kids of my own, but the students are totally different. It's a college life, and they're still basically trying to learn the basics of life and growing up or whatever. So it's an experience, and I like it. There's been no bad turmoil about it.
GC stands in stark contrast to the rest of Milledgeville, but has become an integral part of the community. This is Jalen Brooks, reporting for GC360.
Mental health is on the minds of many students here at Georgia College. With final exams coming up and countless other stress factors, how are students coping and what resources does the school provide to help students? Our reporter, Gracie Howard, has the answers.
For many students, college can be a difficult time. From keeping up with the demands of schoolwork to maintaining social obligations, students at Georgia College can easily become stressed and overwhelmed. One Georgia College student explained some of her personal struggles with stress caused by university life.
Often I've noticed professors and classes in general don't accommodate for people with anxiety in the classroom, and I have severe test anxiety, and so it's difficult for me because professors, they give exams all the same to everyone. So that makes me feel like I should be doing something different.
Although many students may struggle with issues like anxiety, Georgia College offers many resources to improve students' mental health. Here at Georgia College Wellness and Recreation Center, GCSU students are offered 12 free counseling sessions per year. Although, according to the counseling office, only about 10% of Georgia College students utilize this service, and up to 60% of students could benefit from mental health therapy or counseling. In addition to in-person therapy sessions, GCSU also offers a 24/7 mental health support line, virtual support groups and workshops, and free self-help resources. One of these self-help services, called Teo, is a Mandarin word for path. This website helps students deal with panic attacks, insomnia, communication skills, chronic pain, and more. An additional free resource is Headspace, which teaches students observation and participation skills, as well as how to deal with sleep problems. Steve Wilson, head of counseling services at Georgia College, gives some insight on the importance of counselors.
I really do enjoy working with college students. This is a point in people's lives where they're making really big choices, and they're discovering what life can be like as an adult. People at in college age are often, they're creating themselves. It's not, sometimes people say we're discovering ourselves, but we're creating the person that we're going to be. And part of what we do as counselors is help empower people to realize that they are the ones in the driver's seat.
Wilson says there are a few misconceptions when it comes to GCSU's counseling services. He says he's heard students say it can take a month to get an appointment with counseling services, when appointment turnaround time is actually 7 days. Wilson says some students think GC counselors only see students with severe mental health issues, even though services are available for all GCSU students. Pamela Jones is one of the counselors at the Counseling Center.
We also have access to our psychiatrist if someone needs help with understanding if they could possibly have a mental health diagnosis. We have that opportunity as well, and that is also free. And in the real world, it's really tough and difficult sometimes to schedule with a therapist or a psychiatrist. So having this right here in your own backyard over here on West Campus is really a benefit, and I hope more students will take advantage of that.
Through the stress of university life, Georgia College and State University has made it clear that it's here to support its students with free and accessible mental health resources. Reporting for GC360, this is Gracie Howard.
An assistant professor in the Department of English celebrated her latest novel recently. Dr. Chika Unigwe had a book launch at a downtown cafe. The event was a part of GCSU's Creative Writing Program's Visiting Writers series. During the program, Dr. Unigwe signed copies of the book, The Middle Daughter, and also read excerpts. The program was attended by faculty members and students.
Well, for one, I really love Professor Chika Unigwe. She might be my favorite professor. She's very involved and giving. So I wanted to be here for that reason. Also because it's a Hades and Persephone retelling, so that's up my alley, even if it is. Well, it's always very encouraging to see that real people have published books, not just authors on the internet, because, and again, we do know Professor Chika fairly well. She's, very professional, of course, but I love her very much.
The book is a contemporary retelling of the Greek myths of Hades and Persephone, and is Dr. Unigwe's fourth novel.
Coming up on GC360, recent weather emergencies may have exposed Georgia College. Students say the university was unprepared.
Plus, we'll have this weekend's weather and entertainment news.
Hi, my name is Susie Parker. I'm a student docent over here at Andalusia Farms. Andalusia served as the home of the famed American author Flannery O'Connor from 1951 until 1964 of her passing at 39 years old. It was here that Flannery famously wrote and had all 32 of her short stories published. After her passing in 1964, though, the property was eventually entrusted with Georgia College and State University. It is now our proudest achievement to say that we are the nation's newest National Historic Landmark. And on top of that, on March 25th of 2023, we intend to open up our interpretive center and then ultimately return the entirety of the home back to how the O'Connors had it when they were here. There's a ton of stuff that college students can come and enjoy, especially as a Georgia College student. Not only are tours free, but the entirety of the property is free to roam. This is including the front porch, in which we actually leave unlocked for people to come up, have a seat in the rocking chairs, and maybe do a study session. But even more so than that, we have a nature trail down by the pond, which is about 2 miles long. It is very beautiful. And we also have Astor and Mrs. Shortley, our peacock and peahen, who are pretty fun to visit as well. Another really fun thing that a lot of people like to come to Andalusia for is for photography, not only of, photography of the forestry and things like that, but we've had several weddings out here that have had their photos done. But on top of that, this is a wonderful and beautiful place for Georgia College seniors to come and have some of their portraits done. And it's very fitting that it's here on site with Georgia College.
That's my favorite news anchor. Ugh, what do you want? 10 seconds. Can you just read this announcement for me? Okay, 10 seconds. Okay.
semester, GC360 is introducing a new show, Cat Talk. We will showcase a new guest each month and deep dive into some topical issues of concern to you. You may also see some of our guests play some silly games while they're here with us. You won't want to miss this. From GC360, this is Isabella Vanderlende. So join me each month for Cat Talk right here on GC360.
You're watching GC360. Georgia College may have had issues with its emergency alert system during a recent tornado. Some students say they received no alert from the school, and others say the alert came, but late. Our reporter Gracie Howard has been looking into this.
Experiencing a tornado can be a frightening and traumatizing experience, especially when you are not prepared. Recently, Milledgeville experienced an EF1 tornado, which means that winds reached from 86 to 110 miles per hour and resulted in extensive damage around the city. However, the Georgia College Weather Alert System was late in notifying students of the emergency situation. An emergency text was sent out at 7:55 a.m., and the tornado warning was declared over only 13 minutes later. One anonymous Georgia College student was very concerned about the late warning and says it made him feel even more unsafe.
The late tornado warning was really concerning to me just because I expect to stay informed on bad weather updates and what dangers are going on around me so that I can prepare and be safe and, take cover, choose not to drive, choose not to go outside. And when weather updates like that are late, plans get shifted. I could be in a situation that is really unsafe, and it made me feel extremely uninformed.
At the most recent Bobcat Speak Out Town Hall meeting, held in Magnolia Ballroom, Lee Pettiger spoke out about the late tornado warning in hopes to give GCSU students and staff some clarity on the situation.
So on top of Atkinson Hall is a repeater, okay? And then in public safety is the National Weather Service computer. And all communications that come out are automatic, and they come from the National Weather Service updates that hits that computer down in the Hall House of Public Safety. So when the power went off, what we learned today, which we've never had the power go off and then a tornado watch or warning hit at the same time, so this is why we didn't know it.
Many students also experienced power outages, with many dorms and buildings on front campus losing electricity for several hours, according to Georgia College students. In spite of the late emergency warning and the confusion of students, Georgia College is working to improve its technology for future emergency events. Reporting for GC360, this is Gracie Howard.
Will Georgia College be ready for another weather emergency this weekend? Let's find out. Jalen, what's it looking like this week?
Thanks, Sophia. Well, it's been a day of spring showers. The steady drizzle will morph into scattered thunderstorms with wind speeds of 5 to 10 miles per hour as we head into the night. Temperatures will drop from a humid high of 78 during the day to a chilly 62 in the evening. It's National Scrabble Day, so feel free to take advantage of the rough weather to stay inside and curl up with some fun word puzzles. We'll start off on Friday with even more scattered storms. We'll have a high of 75 and a low of 58. Things will taper off Friday night with a chance of rain dropping from 60 to 40%. There may be 1 or 2 showers at this time, but it's unlikely. The weekend is showing highs in the 80s and lows in the 40s. Expect showers Saturday night and thunderstorms Sunday morning. We'll see plenty of sun Monday before switching to cloudy weather for the rest of next week. That's all for this week. Back to you, Sophia and Nick.
Now it's time to check out the news from the entertainment world. For that, here's Isabella Vanderlende.
Thanks, Sophia. This week in entertainment, actress Millie Bobby Brown, known for her roles in Stranger Things and Enola Holmes, is celebrating her engagement. Millie posted a photo on Instagram of her now fiance, Jake Bon Jovi, with a beautiful ring on her finger. You may recognize Jake's last name as he is the son of famous singer Jon Bon Jovi. Millie, now 19, and Jake, only 20 years old, decided to get engaged after dating for 3 years. We wish the couple the best. On a lesser note, singer Taylor Swift broke up with her boyfriend of 6 years. It truly wasn't a love story for Taylor and her now ex, Joe Alwyn. The couple started dating in 2017 and made it through the COVID pandemic together. But Swift's level of fame seemed to be too much for Alwyn. There are rumors that the split is due to a difference in personalities. Taylor is known for her many albums based off her many breakups. So I definitely will be expecting a new album. And that's it for entertainment this week. Back to you guys.
This is GC360 News, where news comes full circle. I'm Nicholas Wimbush.
And I'm Sophia Ricketts. When we're not on air, make sure to follow us on our social media pages. That's facebook.com/GC360 and GC360 News on Twitter and Instagram. Always available to you, GC360, where news comes full circle. Thanks for watching.